Hey, good morning, everybody. In this video, I want to talk about how to spot fakes on social media. If you haven't noticed already, there are a lot of bots on social media. I see a lot of them over on X, see a lot of them on Facebook and elsewhere. And there are a lot of people out there pretending to be people they are not, outright fakes and liars on social media. And so, what I want to do in this video is to give you 5 tips for spotting fakes and suspicious accounts anywhere on social media. These are the 5 main things that I look out for and that are huge red flags with me when I see them happening on social media. The first tip is people who live in your DMs, but they post almost absolutely nothing on their main page. Like if they're sending you DMs, messages on social media, and you decide you want to check them out, you want to see who this person is, and you go to their main social media page, and they have nothing on their social media page. Maybe it's a newly made account, or maybe it's an account that's been around for a few years, and still there's almost no content there. That is a huge red flag to me. It means that you've got somebody that's out there hustling, and probably not in the best sense of the word, who is busy hustling in the direct message area, but doesn't have time or doesn't want to take the time to post anything about themselves on their main social media page. When people are wanting you to trust them, to go into business with them, to buy into a cryptocurrency opportunity, or give you great SEO service, or sell you solo ads. You want to get to know who that person is first before you buy, right? Most people do. And if you check them out on their main social media page and they give you no information at all about who they really are, that is one huge red flag. I would say mute or even block an account like that. Second thing to look out for is people who do post on their social media pages, but it's rarely posts about their own life. Usually it's material that is not original, stuff that they're resharing created by other people, and they just repost and reshare all these other really good posts created by others. To me, that seems very inauthentic. I mean, it's one way to get to know who the person is by, what they like to read on social media. And a lot of us do. We will repost a lot of other people's content that we find amusing or hilarious or informative. But the good content creators will also be sharing content that highlights who they are, how they think, how they see the world. And if you find an account on social media that has content, but it's all reposted content from other people and almost zero, if any, content from themselves, then again, I would consider that to be a huge red flag. If they're not giving you any information about who they are as a person, what their life has been like, why should you trust them? And I always tend to think too, what is it that people like that are hiding? Because, yeah, if they're not posting stuff about themselves, then they are hiding. And especially, now I didn't have this written down, but it goes with this point, especially if they are not showing their real face on social media. You look at their profile picture, and it's not a picture of themselves. Maybe it's a picture of the back of their head, maybe. I've had a few people come at me with that. Or maybe it's a picture of a beautiful woman, not her face, the back of a beautiful woman. And the name on the account is a guy's name. Be very suspicious. I only do business and talk to people who show me their real face on social media. So if you're dealing with an account that is not posting original content and it isn't even showing you their real profile picture, steer clear of that account. Third tip, people who have too good to be true profile images and content. I've had a few people come at me. A lot of people selling solo ads and cryptocurrency people who are dressed up like fashion models. And this one lady, not only was she dressed up in a bathing suit like a supermodel, but she had 5 other women posing with her by her swimming pool, all dressed up in nice bikinis, all with great looking bodies, made me think, what is she really selling? Is it really just solo ads? Or is it something else? People who have too good to be true profile pictures, content that they post. They have pictures of themselves with hot and cold running blondes on either arm if they're a guy, or women dressed up like supermodels. That could be true if you know you're dealing with a high roller, like somebody like Grant Cardone. And he doesn't post pictures like that for the most part. But people who you know have a high net worth, then yeah, that would be believable. But if it's just some random guy or gal coming at you, claiming to be a millionaire or a billionaire and sharing with you pictures that just seem too good to be true. Like I had this one lady on X shared with me pictures of her uncle's art gallery. Looked like a bloody museum. And she claimed this was part of his private collection. Had to be billions of dollars worth of art, musical instruments, all in one person's private collection? Possible, but I would say highly unlikely. And this lady turned out to be a huge fraud. I saw her operating on X, saw her operating on Facebook, and yeah, she had one of those too good to be true profiles. And once I started talking to her, her DMs were also way, way, way too good to be true. If it seems too good to be true, it might still be true, because there are people out there with really fantastic lifestyles. But odds are it is probably not true. So vet them out carefully. People with too good to be true content on their social media, beware. Be skeptical, but check them out. I wouldn't dismiss them as fakes right off the bat, but definitely you want to check them out. My fourth tip here. I'm reading without my glasses here because of the glare, so I'm having trouble reading my notes here in the background. But their posts and DMs seem to be off. They seem to be written by artificial intelligence, or it doesn't really seem to be original to them. And where I find this to be true in some of the frauds that I have dealt with over the years is when you start talking to them and their first communications, they sound bright, they sound intelligent, their English is perfect. And then the next day, you're talking supposedly to the same person on social media. And instead of talking like they're speaking in perfect English, they're speaking like broken English. Like, why you no want to buy solo ad from me, Joe? It's almost like some people that I have dealt with, when they begin the conversation through the DMs, it seems like maybe they were using an artificial intelligence bot to translate their ideas into English. And then the next time that I talked with them, they, for some reason, couldn't use the AI bot or didn't have access to the AI. So they just decided to wing it on their own. When you see noticeable gaps between a person who one day speaks perfect English, very intelligent, very knowledgeable, and then the next day speaks only broken English and not very well. That's a huge red flag right there. And it could be a sign that you're dealing with not just one person using AI, which is possible, but maybe a group of people, some using AI, and again, some not using AI, some just wanting to wing it. Maybe you're talking to them real fast and you're sending messages to them and they're trying to respond to you in real time. If they started the messaging out using artificial intelligence, then maybe in the heat of things, when you start talking to them more quickly, maybe they decide, okay, I don't have time to run this through my AI bot, and I just got to rely on my own personality. Sometimes you can see some shifts there. But if their posts and their DMs seem to be very inauthentic and almost like they are being written by AI, possibly they are being written by AI. And one thing to look out for is if you're dealing with somebody, you are asking a question maybe, and then immediately they respond back to you with a well-written, well-thought-out answer that is 3 to 4 pages long, and they just shoot that back to you within a few minutes. I don't know very many human beings that can really write their own material that quickly. But I do know that you can plug a lot of these questions into a good AI bot and get an answer generated really fast. Grok is good on X. Gemini, I like using that on Google. And you can get a long answer, copy and paste it, and then shoot it out to somebody claiming it as your own material. Beware of that. So yeah, posts and DMs that seem to be, again, too good to be true or inauthentic and look like they've been written by AI. I love AI. I use it as a research tool, but I don't let it replace my own personality. And people on social media that will try to pass AI off as who they are, their own personality, that's a big red flag to me as well. So when you start seeing that happening, beware of folks like that. My fifth tip, and this is nothing really specific, just very general, but my fifth tip here is follow your gut. Follow your instincts when you are dealing with people on social media. If something seems off, listen to your gut. If you've got a good intuitive sense about you, listen to your intuition. If something that you just can't quite put your finger on seems to be off about a person, listen to your gut and investigate that profile a lot more thoroughly, especially before you start whipping out your credit card and buying things from them like SEO services, solo ads, cryptocurrency opportunities, and things like that. A lot of fraud in all of those industries. Not saying that everything in those industries is fraudulent, but there is a lot of fraud in all three of those industries. Be sure to check people out closely before pulling your credit card out and wanting to do business with them. And another thing to look out for, if they start asking you questions about your income, about your liquidatable assets, about your bank accounts, even about your Netflix account. I had a really smart, I don't know what to call them, fraud, I would say. A really smart fraud who 10 years ago almost got me for $700 out of my PayPal account. How did he get my PayPal account information? For a few days, it kind of eluded me. And then I got looking back at our communications, and figured out how he got in to my PayPal account. He was asking me questions about Netflix. Did I have a Netflix account? Did I like to watch Netflix? And I thought, okay, he's just wanting to talk about favorite programs, things like that. I just told him, yes, I had a Netflix account. And that's basically all I did. He also had access to my email address. He was able to use my email address to figure out which Netflix account was mine. He used some sort of a computer program to figure out my password, which at that time was not very solid, not very secure. But, good hackers can figure these things out very fast. And from there, once he got into my Netflix account, he was able to access my PayPal account. And that's how he almost got me for $700 in PayPal. You got to think. You got to stay about 5 steps ahead of a lot of these people online who are committing online fraud. So, yeah, if they start asking you too many questions and they're hiding behind a default avatar, they're not sharing much at all with you about who they are. Beware and beware exceedingly, because these could be average people just, afraid, maybe not dealing well with other people, or they could be very good scammers and fraudsters out there trying to get your hard-earned money through their social media exploits. So yeah, those are my 5 things to look out for. And my closing takeaway is this: be skeptical of anyone that you meet online that you don't know personally in real life. Be skeptical, but don't be cynical. Vet everybody out. Check them out. Have a vetting process. Maybe you want to incorporate my 5 points here and a few others. But have a vetting process where you will try to figure out how you're going to tell real people from fake people. And if you start getting people coming at you that don't seem to be legit, that are telling you stories that don't really seem to add up, if they claim to be from the East Coast, and yet they know nothing about the East Coast but know a lot about the West Coast, beware. If they claim that they're born and raised in the United States, but they start talking to you like they were born in Singapore, they speak a broken English, things like that, beware. If things don't add up, beware. Check everybody out, be skeptical, and do your due diligence. And only do business with people online after they prove themselves to you, after you get to know them, like them, and trust them. But if you get somebody in your DMs and they're constantly pushing you to buy their solo ads, to buy their SEO services, to buy into their cryptocurrency opportunities, and you say no, and then they keep coming back at you, trying to convince you, they won't take no for an answer, and you go back and you check their accounts, and nothing seems to add up, block those people, because odds are very high that you're dealing with scammers. Okay, this is Ralph signing out. Hope you found some value in this. And if you'd like to see what I do online for a living, go to my main affiliate link and check out my main affiliate offer, which can be found at ralphshomebiz.com. That's ralphshomebiz.com. Till later, take care. Let me know in the comments down below. What criteria did I miss? How do you spot fakes on social media? I'd like to know. So let me know in the comments down below. Till later, Ralph signing out again. Catch you in future updates, my friends. Have a good one. Bye-bye. As always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe.